Hi folks, welcome to my humble homestead in the forest. And today, recently I've been getting some emails in regards to whether we have land to lease or for lease, to lease, for lease. And the answer is yes, but there are things to disclose, and there are restrictions, and I thought maybe I'll make a video that I can, instead of having to answer every single person's email, and maybe or even cut and paste that's not so personable or personal. I'll just make a little video that I can refer people to so that they know, and maybe look back at and see if that's something that works, suits them, or is a good fit for them. Actually, this is actually a very good setting to show you the part that I want to disclose. Firstly, is that we are on 44 acres, and we have at least 34 acres either for sale or for lease or whatever. And with the exception of the roughly 1 acre, maybe even less than 1 acre, that the structures are on, and the garden, the 33 raised beds are on, and the flowers and the plants that we make salves and lotions and whatever, and the herbal medicine out of. The other 43 acres are forested woodland. What forested woodland means is this, if you're able to see in that little viewfinder. It's not just forested, it's very densely forested. And I am around this very where I'm standing anyway, every year trying to thin it. Thinning means when the trees that are too close to each other. From where you are standing, just look about 10, 15, I don't know how much you can see, 10, 15, 20 feet radius around me. Whatever number of trees that you see, there should be at the most half as many, if not a third as many. When there's that many trees, they don't have enough elbow room. For instance, I just planted we planted an oak tree right there where the stick is over there. And that oak tree is going to be a mighty oak. When that's big enough to be, in 20, 30, 40, 50 years, that should be the only tree here with nothing else around it for at least 100 feet. To give you an example of what 100 feet is, the distance between me and this little, I can't remember what this is. This distance between here and here is about 3 feet. So if it was 10 times as much, that would be 30 feet. You see what I'm saying? 100 feet is a huge amount of space for one tree, and that's how it should be. If you want it to grow optimally, have elbow room, stretch room, be able to go up. And then right now I have beautiful maple. There's a maple there, right here. There are 2 maples, there's 3 maples there. There's a yellow birch right behind me. These are all good hardwoods. Depending on who you ask or what you think, as good as they are, they're not as good as an oak. So what do? Do I bring those down? But my point is, it's densely wooded. If you are looking for land to do farming on, by traditional sense, that is, if you're looking for a field or if you're looking for a pasture, I don't know how else to put it, then this may not be for you. I am not suggesting that you cannot bring down trees, especially if you're doing things with them, like you're building your log cabin, or log homes, or your wood sheds and barns and whatever out of. You would be welcome to do that, because I don't see that as, because we have millions of trees I'm a tree hugger, but I know that trees have to come down, and also that you don't bring them down; they will come down, especially the softwood. And when you build a log cabin or structures or furniture or whatever, they go on living, and they can maybe even be handed down to someone. So it's not like they're dead and they're decaying. Even a decaying tree, as an elder once told me, is the most important tree in the forest because it's providing nutrients to the soil, giving itself back to the soil. So it's not like bringing trees down is a horrible thing. No, but it's more than that. When you try to do a clearing, however amount, so say you want 1 acre. That 1 acre would take a long time, a lot of work, a lot of perhaps money, even if you rent the tractor or bulldozer or whatever yourself too, because you do have to uproot or remove the stumps of these trees. These trees aren't just what you see above ground, they're underground too. And so that takes energy and resources and money and time and effort to make a sort of a pasture or a field. And so if you're thinking of leasing this 1 acre or however acreage for sort of an income source to grow on, no, like you've seen traditional farms, rows and rows and rows, and I'm not even talking about plowing. It can be no plow, but nonetheless you're growing to sell. May not be profitable for 5 years. How will you survive? In addition to having to pay for clearing that land and making this organic soil, it's taken us 9 years to have this beautiful organic soil that we have, and that's just soil, and it's not even a field. So how will you survive? What is your income? And it's not impossible. I know, just because I know I'm projecting. There are a lot of folks that have resources. Maybe you've sold your home, maybe you're in your early retirement, maybe you have family, friends that can lend you money, maybe you work from home, you're like some kind of a programmer or whatever, and you're a high earner. You can maybe hire people to do all this work for you. That's fine. I'm also up for hire. But I'm just letting you know that this is, if you're inquiring about leasing land, however amount, to grow on for income, whatever, this may not be the one you're looking for. Now, who is this for then? If you're looking for an all-organic neighborhood like we are, if you're looking to be away from the cities like we are, like rural, there's rural and there's rural. We're a step up from rural. If you are looking to do a sort of a business that can manage itself within that 1 acre or however number of acres in the forest as you see it, whatever that is, I don't know. You can come up with your own ideas. That could be for you. Then this is it. We can discuss the price. That's not. People almost always immediately ask me how much. I'm thinking, you don't even know what you want to do. Let's not talk about how much. You know what I mean? Let me first tell you what it's good for and what it would cost you maybe to do make it into what you think you want to do. Then we can discuss price, because no point in me telling you anything because you may not even stay here. I don't like to. I'm too efficient. I don't like to. It's like putting the horse, putting the wagon in front of the horse. So now the restrictions. This land that is for lease and or for sale. I mean, if you buy it, I can't really force anyone to do anything. But for leasing, definitely. Or if I start a cooperative or an intentional community, I do not. It's not for mining. It's not for exploration. It's not for that kind of illicit activities. It's not for anything that would be noisy. I don't want. I've had more than my share of secondhand smoke. I don't want any smokers, for instance. I don't want anyone with addictions, any drugs. We don't want barking dogs. You know what we want, and who we think would want to be here? People that want this. Listen. See, I've not reduced the volume. I've not edited or whatever this video. This is how peaceful and serene this setting is. Listen again. So I'm catering to folks that want the same thing as me. If you want barking dogs, if you want loud boom, boom music, if you want people playing with speakers outside, if you want, I don't know, lots of traffic, lots of noise, lots of hustle and bustle and that kind of thing, then maybe either stay in the city or respectfully go and find places like that. I'm sure there are places like that. I'm pretty sure of it. I'm looking for quiet folks to lease to or to allow into a cooperative or an intentional community. I'm looking for people that are peaceful, respectful to this forest. This forest, I may have the deed to it, but I don't have the rights to other inhabitants that live here. They were here before me, and they don't care that I have a deed or a property border. They live here. Everything from the insects, the tiniest insects, to mushrooms and the myceliums underground, to all these trees and all the wildlife with heartbeats. They all live here, and I don't want to have to. I want to affect them as little as I can, and by extension, anyone that I lease to or anyone that I allow on my intentional community or cooperative to to have the same mindset that they come first because they've been here first. So I think I may have covered everything that I wanted to say. With that said, please, if didn't understand, it was not clear, you can contact me or watch this video again. Maybe the second time will be more clear to you. And so, Woody, don't immediately contact when you see land for lease. Land could be pasture, could be field, or it could be forested woodland. And this is what this is, woodland. It can be cleared to a point, but it's best left as it is. Or if it's cleared, it could be cleared with mindfully. Anyway, I think that's it for now. Have a good day. How do I get back to the camera now?